44 minutes after 7 o'clock a.m. in Monrovia, just wherever you are joining us this morning. Good morning, and welcome. Good morning to our friends, our fans, and followers in the diaspora, our brothers and sisters in the United States of America. These are very tough moments, difficult periods. And again, do not allow the politicians to make you feel like an attempt to have conversations about these direct attack on your situation, and of course some of what you're going to be going through as a result of these diplomatic actions and all of that. No, absolutely not. When politicians fail, the most likely alternative for them is to embark on a divide and rule method where they'll pit the people against each other, and instead of working in solidarity, you start to see each other as the cause for your misfortunes and all of that, ignoring and taking your eyes from the actual governance failure that have culminated into some of the misfortunes that you are experiencing and are undergoing. I am very and extremely empathetic with families, family members, family heads who have their children or their wives on this part of the world, and the attempt for them to get reunited or united in the United States has disappeared, does not exist anymore. I mean, I am going to do my best to simply explain to you what the actions by the United States government on yesterday mean, and the presence of Liberia on that list, sharing list with the likes of Russia and some of the war blacklisted nations. This is uncharacteristic of Liberia. No, we have never been on the left-hand side of the United States. So we must begin to ask ourselves, we must begin to look around us, and don't allow the politicians, the government people, to make you feel like, Liberian people. I saw some of their propagandists and of course when they were coming, PRs on the social media. Imagine, right? Government fail, then government spokes, and persons come out and say, "Oh, Liberian people, like you're the one responsible because you're in America, you're lazy." Look at, you're not even compassionate, you're not even empathizing with the people as a government, but you send surrogate out there to go and insult the people, right? That is adding insults to injury. This is an unfortunate moment for the Liberian community in the U.S. Then y'all go there and say, "Oh, Liberian people, that you're the one. You're in America. You're lazy. You can't wear. You're living on handout from the people country that what made the popo." Does that thing make sense to you? Since Rock of Ages, America has been running its welfare programs and national from across the world, right? So did we as a country and leadership consider the relevant diplomatic adjustments in keeping with the changes in Washington? Did we do that? These so-called educated people, they sit down and say, "Oh, they are the best diplomats," right? But anyway, folks, today promises to be a good thing. We're vexed. This man with his 40+ year experience, one we expect that he understand diplomacy, he understand the international political arena and how things work there. You come here and your boys are passing around doing business and hanging out. with new invisible rivals, diplomatic rivals of the US, and you are making utterances, you are chest beating, and talking about strong, say we made a strong statement, that you calculate well, that you do the proper cost-benefit analysis. What would it have cost us to have remained in the corner of America no matter what? Always in the corner. Say, oh yeah, we'll not bring over here, or yeah, because we feel protected here. About I don't know how many thousand Liberian immigrants are in the US. For their sake and their protection, the government will remain there. You see, when you're watching the television, you're seeing these things. They're not anything you can just go and start talking. The ordinary people can be talking, but y'all who go to school for the thing. Anyway, we're not gonna jump the gun, but folks, welcome, man. We're gonna spend more time talking about this, and then of course, these are very sad moments for those of you who are not aware, fellow Liberians. The nation is kind of bleeding this morning, right? And not only those of us in the country, even our brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers that are in the US that have been there. I know some of you say, oh yeah, during the elections, some of them were calling us here. Oh, if you not vote for Braga, we'll not send you school fees anymore. If you not vote for Unity Party, you will never call me. I will not help you anymore at the end of the day. But yeah, sometimes these things can happen because people were all, everybody was fooled, everybody was misled, and then we got here. This is it. From the very get-go, they have become casualty of this mess they call a rescue thing that they were putting at the throat of everybody. Students used to call us, oh, because we went for the, especially the we are not saying that everything was perfect, and we have consistently said that. You see, some of the action from a president we are used to be taking, people will feel like, oh, say, but yeah, the sovereignty of the country is a sovereign country, blah, 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 right? We'll have our conversation, we'll limit it to our layman right here, McCarthy. But go on, Moali, the water and sewer managing director, go on TikTok handle, right? Promoting radical Iranian and radical last Iranian messages against who? And not America. Y'all go there, y'all go check on TikTok. Iran not do for Liberia. What thing Iran not do for Liberia? You forced to talk in Iran and America business. How many Liberian in Iran? How many Liberian in Russia? How many Liberian in China? That one, the Chinese plenty, they even get goose pay for their own population that they will go in for our own. How to manage between complex multilateral, bilateral relationships and maintain, right, a protective space is what the government of Liberia under Joseph Numa Barker has failed on miserably. But we'll tell you more, folks. That's what we're here. Share the show. Let go as far as the president and, of course, the foreign minister. And we're going to have our perspective on this. Because they say when you fall, you don't look at where you are falling. Rather, you look at where you stomp your toes. So this morning conversation is going to be about looking back a little bit. What has happened? What are some of the actions and decisions that we can create, a connect to say, don't you think these were some of the things that put us on the red line, that put Liberia? Because when it comes to conversation with America, Liberia and Russia, they're not being on the scene list. Right? And this is sad. Some of you here, You will not know what is going on. Even as we speak now, do you know how many applications applications and things were in that by that cable, everything is cut off. And a government sit down and you get people saying, oh, because a list came out to say like when people were living, like when people are part of people that are living on US government, go on that list. There are other countries there too that did not make yesterday list. But that's besides the point. What did we do that made us to go on that list? How have we been engaging diplomatically? What's the nature of our messages that we've been having? The signals that we've been giving. The layman will not know, right? But who at the top knows. You think actions and decisions in the diplomatic space can just happen? No. Anybody tell you that one that be here about law? Signals are sent. It's up to you. It's up to you to take cue. When you had the Independence Day and the US sachet walk out, have you all forgotten? And people came and started defending and all that. The message in the hall was anti-America. And there was a diplomatic note to that effect sent to Washington, and these things have been on the docket. You think it just happened from the blue? The government knows about it. And they've been deliberate, caring less about our brothers and sisters in America. And you try to put the blame on them. How dare you? Where was it Liberia or the opposition that selected the orator and approved the oration that was delivered? Was it the opposition that did that? At what benefit did we need to give national platform to a new anti-American orator? To what gain? Have you forgotten the message? And when that message was delivered, have you also forgotten the aftermath interpretation by senior government officials? We'll go for the message, we'll read it. You think diplomacy work like that your thing you can be doing here? You got to be clear as a country, as a government, as people there. You got to sit down in the room, determine the national interest of the country, right? And do a study of the possibilities that are available out there and align your national interest objectives with the possibilities of a protective cooperation that guarantees the fulfillment and achievement of your national objectives. It's a national interest. Foreign policy interests. What are foreign policy interests? The national interests. So when you pursue a foreign policy interest that align more with the East, then you ought to ask yourself, to what end does that protect our national interest objectives? You see, the guys, because some of you just won't be on government payroll, you want government job, you all know some of the things in that career, you'll be defending it. Anything can, you will defend it, right? Some of you used to have, man, you be thinking like, no, my man, sometimes you go to school. Fun time, you go to school, and I will encourage you. If you get it, you also especially with a time like this where nothing is going on, right? You hang somewhere, you expand your understanding. Even some of the folks who were in that foreign service school there, we are our lecturer on Liberia foreign policy from 1847 to present. When you do a review of Liberia foreign policy from 1847 to present across all the intervals, Liberia and America, you think when people say traditional ally, you think it's just coming from the blue? And when they say traditional ally is a lip service, no. That vote, that standing by, standing with. Because the protection of our national interests is guaranteed in standing with America. It has always been guaranteed in standing with America. Some of you who are, you be like, and the way it's a tit for tat. To get more, you got to demonstrate more. And that's what we have not done for our end. And a lot of you say, oh, America has not done much for Liberia. Eugene Fagon, I have his recording. I will play it. Where Eugene Fagon condemning America. They say all they have done is to connive with people in Washington to bring war to Liberia, accusing America of organizing armed insurgents against Liberia. And according to him, for what? For our natural resources. That's what he said. He said nobody's going to sit down in Washington and make decisions for us. We're a sovereign nation. They are there. Darius DeLong. There are most of them. Nobody, the opposition say, these are actors, wheelers, and decision makers in the government. Those were the clear-cut positions. And the entire government assembled at the Independence Day celebration, I think 1 year ago, a year or two ago. Right? Say, oh, Raptor Pele, this brave Liberian, come and tell us, come and say what we want to say. Come and say it. Let the world know that we are taking a new shift. These are the consequences. Maybe the government has solutions to it. Let's wait and see. But in the interim, we have to talk about it as the effect, the aftermath of this. And we have to be clear that these things are happening because of the geopolitical repositioning, realignments that our government has pursued on grounds that as a country we've not achieved or received much from America. So we need to deal with China. We need to make friends with friends of Russia, right? What did we see? Envoys, special envoys and diplomats from the president's office and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs visits with dictators in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Who are these regimes working with? Any alliance with? Isn't it Russia? Is it not public knowledge? They have several relationships with the West. It's known publicly. And that is where our foreign ministers have gone to, sat down and make commitment. You think these intelligence are not in Washington? They are there. Don't blame yourself, fellow Liberians. We're going to tell you everything this morning. We're going to let you know. We're going to open your eyes. These are the choices that the government has made for us. And the results are coming. These are the choices that the government has made. Several of them that we're going to talk about. Let nobody make you victim of the bad decisions that the government took and pursue. That led us. And I have been consistent in telling you that this foreign minister is a flop. And I see people mediocre, a small minded, and they will be like, oh, Sarah Beslow. And I have waited everything she's done since she became foreign minister. I have not seen any substantive, viable negotiation that have brought real-time dividend to Liberia on any front. She said she was negotiating scholarship for Liberian students to go to America. Go part 419 company in Ghana. What kind of seasoned diploma will contact go you 419 company in Ghana say you won't get a Nicotech scholarship in America? Does that thing make sense? Isn't that a red flag? Wasn't That a red flag for you? Me, I don't worship individuals. No matter what you have, you can get all your money and people be like looking for your attention. No, I don't need it because I know one. It's just a matter of time. You think I need a bootleg Sarah Beslow, even when she's messing up with the foreign service, even when she's messing where we are. Look at the biggest achievement we've gotten from the foreign service. Over 25 to 30 to 50,000 Liberian families are going to be affected because of the poor foreign policy pursuit of the government of Liberia under Joseph Boakai and Madam Sarah Beslow Yanti. This is where we are. Your children can't leave from here to go to you anymore. And it's an indefinite suspension. And I'll define what the immigrant visa means. There are non-immigrant visa, there are immigrant visa, right? And this is the most important one. This is immigrant visa is the one Liberians are mostly interested in. Well, let's open the phone lines. Liberians, what do you want to go to America for? Do you want to go to America just to go see it and come back? Or you want to go stay there, you want to live there, you want to change your life, you want to be a better person, right? The government say, technically, from what we've seen across the different social media handle, the government is clapping. It said thank you, America, for taking the immigrant visa privilege and opportunity from Liberians. We thank you for that. But at least you don't tell the non-immigrant, what they will just go spy and come back. Are you kidding me? Think about that. Tourists, that tourism we won't go do in America or we won't go live to better and change our family life here. What kind of government is this? And when you talk it, some of you out there, you don't get direction for yourself. You won't be acting like you think you can your feelings can control people like us. The real time is coming. We'll be making this prediction. You feel we're talking from the blue. You know, the people somehow talking with yesterday. Or because you see how at least better, we come around, we pass around, and with something. Right? Our intelligence has earned us some repetition that and we can have some real serious conversations about real issues in this country. And this is what you don't get. And that's when you're having your feelings, because look, I mean, how far your feelings can go. Right on KRSQ, you can't be feeling go back home. So I'm supposed to bother about how you feel. Anyway, let's take a walk. Crime Stopper Liberia. This thing, serious. My name is Abu Sharif, and it's a good day. It's a good thing, and it's always a pleasure having you join us for breakfast. Let's break, and we'll be right back.
There are crimes in many places, in every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hand, call the real authority. That it can't take your law in. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see you must talk it, I mean you cheche. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia, stopping crime for all of us is important, very, very important, folks. Welcome back to it. This is Freedom Money Rise on Freedom 87.9, where we discuss the issues that matter to Liberia of growth and development without fear nor favor. We speak truth to power because it is the truth that will set us free. And it is the truth that will guarantee a wholesome functioning society for all of us. When we can all choose to be truthful and, you know what, speak things the way they are and call people to order, you will realize that we will create an environment where people will know that they're being checked. And because they've been checked, they will absolutely act accordingly. And because they're acting accordingly, it is all of us that stand to benefit the most. This is important, folks. And that's the path we have chosen. And so this morning, we have come once more to say that as a country, we're too poor to be treated with heavy hand. And we expect that the government and the people that we have reposed our confidence in and trust in to manage our affairs in ways that we do not have any kind of negative consequence, or we do not have to go through any kind of nightmare as a result of taking actions. We said as a country in our mass that these set of leaders are the best people that can earn us, right? Are the best people that can earn us a degree of protection and sound decision making that will prevent and maintain our peace, our happiness, and of course, our respect on the global stage. Today, we're waking up to news that these people, evidently based on how they have proceeded with our country, evidently based on how they have proceeded with our country, cannot, right? And consequently, results coming from out there have begun showing that absolutely you cannot go to bed sleeping, thinking and believing that we are in safe hands. This is the central message. With what has happened, you cannot go to bed in Liberia or as a Liberian anywhere in the world, and there is no way you can be a Liberian and you think you don't have connection with America. It's not possible. So there is no way in the world you can go to bed as a Liberian feeling safe and protected because you're a Liberian. You've earned the angle of the biggest protector in the world, the United States of America. You look, whether we like it, no matter the degree of radicalized narcissists and propaganda that people want to carry and people want to indoctrinate you with, the fact remains that for you to exist in this space, in this environment, and brag about independence and all of that. That protection, that shield, that cover comes from the United States of America, from their taxes, from their government, from their security, and this is fact. We are not even near the point at which we can say we can survive a day without American protection or American involvement in our country. So for anybody that sit down anywhere to be talking, oh, we got to speak strong, we got to touch strong to who now? Touch strong to who? Guinea military men and warrior can join their uniform, they can't invade your territory. So that who you coming touch strong to? Like America. America go do something. You know, you sit down, you close your mouth, you focus on other things and talk about a humanitarian thing and talk about the youth, women right and gender issue. You can make yourself based on the Security Council with that one. You forced to talk in the people thing and you go talk. After a showing the U.S. government and the U.S. president, you all remember that? Yes, sir, yes, sir. I'm trying to do a whole summary before I start to play bit by bit. I'm trying to do a whole summary of everything that you need to know. That's always a big station, right? We have many, and we have this, and the entire Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they're listening. We have friends there, and they know. We're not all knowing. In fact, we are students, but we take our time to understand. We talk to people. I made someone a meeting yesterday. It was a serious meeting, but I know it will come back again. All we got to do is just stop being extremely political to the point where you can just go ahead and do anything and feel like. And one of my own prof, I don't want to bring to the spotlight, right? Because, my teacher now, he taught me before. But when we're in school, the way he was not sounding, now he's sounding like that. And on the social media, and I'm like, wow, who has radicalized the space to this extent? Even the people who are aware, they have been in our diplomacy for years. They are the doyens of our foreign policy, framework. And they think they too agree that this kind of radical, overt shift is necessary. I don't know how. And you're doing it openly. The other guy, Sheikh Kouyaté, rather than wear BB gun and go to Burkina Faso. The other, Sheikh Baislo, or Sunday school Lapaden should go to Burkina Faso. You go sit down with Russian agents from Liberia as the foreign minister of the republic. What's the nature of the conversation? America got settled level everything picking all. You think America jump? That soft spot. Why did we lose the soft spot? We America, we're doing our thing. We'll get fair. We'll talk. Ain't no layman and we'll talk. But official government positions started deeply aligning with open rivals to the U.S. Right? With open rivals to the U.S. Clearly damning the partnership and relationship and sending a signal. And what do you think the U.S. authority will do? We'll sit down, fold their hands. Somebody say, we're not going to fold our hands between our legs and sit down for visa business. He said for visa business. It goes beyond visa. It has something to do with security. It has a lot to do with healthcare. It has a lot to do with safety, with life, with family. That's what it has a lot to do with. It's beyond visa. If you have to keep your hands between your leg to protect Liberian families, you ought to do that. And government agents are on social media and saying, no, they could not have done that. You listen to one other man, they say he's the Senate committee chair on foreign affairs. Liberia will not take decision based on other people's interests. You don't know that based on other people's interests You got to navigate between to get your own interests. Do you know how diplomacy works? Enough of that, folks. So let me go here and bring you some the stories of that. Okay, let's go in now and bring you. And by the way, there are a lot of other actions that have been taken. Like a day ago, the United States president, this is about 2 days ago, the United States president revoked more than 100,000 visas. That was to tell you that since the president of the United States, Donald Trump, took office on this return, about 100,000 visas since Trump became president has been revoked, and the causes. And when you look at the people and the countries they're from and stuff, and you see the attitude of the regime in those countries, and that gives you a clue as to why they're falling in the net of this. And then you come to see what is happening from Monrovia, then you know exactly how this is not far. 8,000 student visa and 2,500 specialized visa for individuals who are encounters with U.S. law enforcement for criminal activities. The U.S. Department of State posted on X. That's Twitter for those of you. Now, let's go now to read for you the statement as was posted by Fox News on yesterday. And it reads, visa crackdown. It's a visa crackdown. By the way, just before we proceed, visa, diplomatically in the sense of America, is used as a foreign policy, instrument. So yeah, of course, visa restriction and things. So it's a weapon. It's a foreign policy weapon. They sanction you. They give visa restriction. There's a whole Magnitsky Act that deals with that in a way to ensure compliance. All these things is when you're going outside the U.S. framework, the periphery of the United States diplomatic consideration, they flash you. It's just like when you're playing football game, you play fine, they get a yellow card before they get you a red card, right? So there is a whole line drawn. The U.S. diplomatic and of course democratic benchmarks are set, and once you transcend those and you violate those, they take diplomatic actions. Visa restrictions is one of those. Just for the benefit of those of you who will not understand, who will just see it from the perspective of visa, and it extends beyond that. So visa crackdown. The State Department is pausing immigrant visa processing for 75 countries in an effort to crack down on applicants deemed likely to become a public charge. Deemed likely to become a public charge. Right? What that means is that the United States government have done its studies and its survey. But mind you now, before now, America have always accepted Liberia as a responsibility to the US. It has always showed up to building infrastructure, to training our security, to mining our borders, to setting up government system, to empowering our farmers, to empowering our healthcare. They have never complained once it comes to Liberia. We've been treated with dispensation. So it is not that this is just a new phenomenon, right? But by the fact that we have lost that privilege to enjoy those opportunities with America, signal that something has happened. There has to be an instigator, and that's what we have to push to investigate, to understand as critical people in our country. And when we do and we go deep, you realize that governance failure is largely responsible for that. Government policy and government actions is largely responsible for that. Those are the triggers, but we'll get to them, right? The list includes Somalia, Russia, Liberia, Afghanistan, Brazil, Iran, Iraq, Egypt, Nigeria, Thailand, Yemen, and others. See the country name we in the scene on the scene list with. Yemen, Iraq. What in Yemen and Iraq and Liberia get to do and be talking about being on the scene list? My people. Most of them are near blacklisted. So can we safely say that with the ushering in of your so-called rescue government, right, this is the new fit of Liberia, that we have to be sharing seat, right, with Iran, Iraq, Russia, in the view of America, and you take that lightly, you come to pacify that and say, oh, this, that, that's the. I mean, you gotta share this show. You gotta say your comment. I'm gonna read comments of Liberians here. So maybe we ourselves can help our own case and help our brothers and sisters out there. Our government does not have the capacity to create and the means to absorb and ensure life for all of us here. So America has always been the place to look up to in our families in America. The people in America, because of the American magnanimity, and some of us are here, we are being educated. We're being looked after. You cannot ignore that. So when we as a country and people understanding, knowing, benefiting from that, see in the attitude of a group of people that want to be leaders in the country, start to send to us signals that threaten our general welfare in these forms and manner, we ought to reject it. So when people like us were talking, you were rather blackmailing us. And here's the reality. Right? I would never pick. I would never, absolutely never, ever pick, a Russia over America. For what reason? What's the proximity? What's the interest? Especially to the level. But again, this is what it is. The pause begins January 21. How many more days? As of January 21, it closed. As of January 21, it closed. So before you say, oh, when you go to the American embassy, they poke and pull also. Before you say, oh, when you go to the American embassy, the line can be long. No line will be there again. What didn't take line pull there? As of January 21, I'm not sure. I'm a young man, but you pretty much tell me maybe besides doing the war period, but when? Who government brought the kind of embarrassment to Liberia? Joseph Boakai. History going to record it. Historians should put it down. The first time under a stable government for Liberian to be denied the opportunity to apply, seek, and be granted immigrant visa by the United States of America. That is the picture. That is the picture. This is governance failure. That's what it is. Now, the Immigration and Nationality Act has long permitted consular officers to deem applicants inadmissible on public charge grounds. But President Donald Trump in 2019 expanded the definition to include a broader range of public benefits. That expansion was challenged in court, with portion ultimately blocked before being rescinded by the Biden administration. And this is it. You can live in the way America is structured, right? Every American government is right. That's generally every government, every American administration is right. What is the Democrat? Is the Republican? They are all right in the context of global democracy and representative governance framework. So because all of those parties in America, whether Republican or Democrat, they all conform to what? the general principles and ethics of democracy. So they're all right. None of them also the framework of capitalism and, of course, the free market, democratic, environment. None of them against it. So they're all right by that standard. Now, each of them at different interval will deem necessary and particular policy and actions. That does not make it right for anybody to say, oh, they want them. No. They're all right, they're all democrat. So any American party or president or administration coming from either of the party, they're all democratically correct. They are the standard of the world. Whether it's the Democrat or it's the Republican, you have to accept it. You have to know it, not only, but you have to know it and accept it. So what else you want to accept? Eh? And that is that. So the expansion was challenged in court, with portion ultimately blocked before being rescinded by the Biden administration. The full list of countries comprises of Afghanistan, Albania, Algeria, Antigua, Barbuda, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Bahamas, Bangladesh, Liberia, Iraq, Iran. And Liberia gets sandwiched between Iraq, Iran, Russia. Look at the community said they go poor in the neighborhood. Well, how did we get here, folks? So I've read that for you, right? So let's try to get the Ministry of Foreign Affairs respond. It's important. Let's hear what our Ministry of Foreign Affairs said. The damage has happened already. Somebody, man, I saved the thing somewhere yesterday. But that is that. No, but before that, they said immigrant visa. So let's define and understand what immigrant visa means. Right? What immigrant visa means and who is going to affect. An immigrant visa is a type of visa that allows a foreign national to enter the United States of America. A foreign national, like from Liberia. I like to be particular about Liberia. So the visa type under the American system that allow for Liberian to move from here to go to America. To enter into America with the intention of living there permanently. So any desire you had of wanting to travel to America to live there permanently, the cancellation of the immigrant visa under Boakai administration and WASH means that all Liberian citizens who have dreamed of living in America have disappeared, have died. Boakai killed it. And somebody think, I'm going to make this a Boakai thing. It is a Boakai thing. It is a Boakai administration. His diplomatic maneuverings were poor and they were insensitive and they did not consider where Liberia's best interest lies. And you think that Joe Blow's supposed to be responsible? The president is the chief diplomat of the Republic of Liberia. Don't you know that? Can the president tell us what was the nature of his conversation and engagement with Donald Trump? And somebody came here and said, oh, good English. You went to plead on behalf of a whole republic of over 5 million people, their welfare. And you go sit down there and then you get mocked about good English. Was that a dividend of wasting taxpayers' money in that last trip, that last delegation to go to the U.S.? What guarantee did you get from that, Mr. Chief Diplomat? It's for all Liberians' hope of wanting to live in America. So you can dream of going live in any part of the world, but not America anymore. It's over. O-V-E-R, over. Over. It did not happen weird time. Weird time. The system, the collaborations were there. The system here was working with the US system. So when the US system deemed individuals problem or coming in conflict with their system, they took action on individuals. But now it is the whole country that have come in conflict with their system. And that country is being led by who? Joseph Boakai. So who makes the decision for the country? Joseph Boakai. It is Joseph Boakai's decision that have landed us where we are. Fellow Liberians, Yana boys, Pempe Riders, Wheelbarrow boys. I mean, everybody, farmers. This is the reality. This is, imagine somebody with 42 years of governmental experience and leading us to hell. Leading us to nowhere else but hell. This is where we are. And I've told everybody, look, I've told all of you young people, civil society people, don't bother. All you got to do your civil society work. Don't organize nobody to say, oh, you're going to protest this. No, you forget it. These are protests all by themselves. Nobody need to do that because the government needs those one as scapegoat excuses. So give them the benefit of the doubt. Nobody, we don't want any problem here. These people will remain in power. They will mess this place. Their mess will be, all of them will be seeing them. They will be messed up. We will see them with their mess. And the environment will be colossal. That's what we want. We're going to let it go through. Nobody gonna say, oh, the men when they pray, nobody. And the good thing is, nobody is paying for lobbyists, right? Nobody is protesting. Nobody is organizing protests in Liberia to say, oh, sanction the government for killing people in King George. Nobody has done that. Unlike 6 years ago, when Boakai and the United Party organized young people, right, to send a negative diplomatic image to attract sanction for Liberia. That time you could blame the opposition because the opposition were taking willful actions to attract sanction to Liberia. But this time around, no, it's exclusive government actions and decisions that have landed us where we are. Those are the facts. Indisputable. Indisputable. So now, what it says is that an immigrant visa is a type of visa that allows a foreign national to enter the United States with the intention of living there permanently. It's typically issued to people who have been sponsored by a family member or employer, or who are them or as refugees. So you can't go to America as refugee anymore. You can't go to America playing visa or other lottery. No way. You can't go to America because your auntie sent for you anymore. You can't go to America because your husband sent for you anymore. As a Liberian, you can't go to America because your wife sent for you anymore. You can't go to America because, right, your partner sent for you anymore. Business, school, or what thing. You can't go America anymore. This is what you need to understand. You can't go America because your mom sent for you or your pa sent for you anymore. It's finished. It's over. That's what it means. And somebody should tell me how this is supposed to be lesser for anybody to celebrate and think that, oh, yeah, they won, that yeah, they won. Everybody in that category have zero access to America anymore. This is not happening with we are. They're not happening with Ellen. Not even Judy Bryant, right? But it's happening with Mr. Boakai. Because there are invisible diplomatic actions that have earned all this one. The invisible diplomatic actions are one that you will not see, but that the government is doing, and that's some of what I'm trying to expose to you. But we don't wait, we'll get there. Folks, this is Freedom FM 87.9, and of course, you're listening to the Freedom Morning Rise. My name is Abu Sharif. We're having conversations about this visa suspension for Liberia that has got Liberia on the list with a host of countries that are known to be blacklisted for terrorism, for human rights violations, for anti-American rhetorics and sentiments? When did we enter that bracket? When did we enter that quadrant? And this is where we are. Families are being separated. And there is no empathy from folks who defend the government. This thing, everybody's supposed to be concerned and worried. There is no justification about this. This is unfair to Liberia. This is unfair to all of us. Right? Simply because we entrusted a few people with leadership, they went ahead and mismanaged and misapplied themselves in our foreign service realm, and we all are denied the opportunity of ever traveling for whatever purpose, not even connecting with our family and our wife. Thank God, say, those of you that put yourself in America, woman business, America, husband business, you can imagine, you don't even, because it's indefinite. So your hand's going to remain between your legs indefinitely. Kind courtesy of the Buckeye and, of course, how you call it earlier, Beslow Foreign Policy Collabo. How can you ever take this from the shoulders of the government? How? I mean, my brother, how is that even possible? No. This is it. These are the people that are going to be affected. Okay. Right? I'm trying to get something out quickly for us right here to something. When people decide that, you have to make sure that the time is ripe for certain actions and certain decisions. Now, let me take a few calls on this. First of all, to get your thought on just the idea that this visa suspension has happened. What do you think as a Liberian right now? How do you feel as a Liberian? For me, I'm very empathetic because there's some family, and there is no way you can take this away. And I saw that, and there's no way you can take this away from the government, because there's several actions that have happened that you all have seen and witnessed, all of that, which we will come to, right, in the part 2 of the conversation on some of the things that the government and government officials have been doing. The Louis Brown, Venezuela condemnation of America. Was it necessary? Raptor period invitation to mount national platform to desecrate and denigrate America with preference for Russia, China, and other people in the face of the rivalry that exists between the two war powers. 0776 104 104 086 500 104 plus 231 86 500 104 are the numbers to call. Liberia has been suspended by the United States of America among 74 countries for access and, of course, to immigrant visa opportunities, meaning no Liberian wanting to go and live and reside in America will have the chance anymore. Good morning. Let's hear you. Your background, you gotta move away from your monitor.
Yeah. But
I'm sorry, I can't continue. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning,
This
sir.
is Mohammed Ikawa, the morning Solar Movement. Let me very commend you for the show, Abu.
Go ahead.
Yeah. For us to hear this morning that Liberia are very strictly honoring and government every day say the foreign issue are being discussed by the government, and today we are hearing the kind of information about the government. It's so sad. So whatsoever thing they are being telling that going to go in the public, they are being lying. Seriously. And he told that President President Baga is the best director of God in the United States. Why Liberia name on the list? Today, President Joseph is supposed to take one phone and call Donald Trump immediately for Liberia need to be raised. But all those things they are being telling Liberia people here, when the Liberia foreign relationship are being correct, all the party, according to them, all the parties that were happening in the country now, Liberia we are inheriting now. All we are getting kind of information. It's quite sad for public officials to be and lying to Liberia people. At the end of the day that will follow with them like this. So for me, anybody like you lie to yourself, or making yourself to be somebody who forgo and go and you are not doing the right thing, I will continue to expose the identical government about their action against the people. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. The 177 independent orator of the Republic of Liberia, under the leadership of Mr. Joseph Newman Boakai, to the applause of senior government officials, declared that America as a country has taken more from Liberia than it has given to Liberia. That's what she said. Let's listen to a part of it.
Today, when I think of Liberia's birth as a nation, I often picture fists of all shapes and sizes raised in the air like this. May the achieving this very lofty. Those who came here yearn for dignity. Those who were already here yearn for dignity. Liberians at home and abroad currently yearn for dignity. Dignity must define us. I propose a radical agenda for achieving this very lofty goal. First, we must reconceptualize and redefine what it means to be a Liberian. What does it mean to be a citizen in this post-war moment? Second, we must tackle the twin development challenges of structural violence and unfreedoms. How do we enable all Liberians to realize their fullest potential? And third, we must prioritize nation building. From 1847 onwards, our negotiations over land ownership, political participation, identity, and belonging yielded both productive and destructive outcomes. Our nearly 200-year history as a nation exposed both collaborative and combative elements of who we are. Despite my mouth and the meditations of my heart, adopting those who came here yearn for dignity. Those who were already a unification and integration policy 1 century after independence, we never actually be acceptable. Be told, this special relationship only exists in our imagination. Lest we forget, the United States was one of the last countries to recognize our independence. Lest we forget.
Hey, you hear them clapping? You hear the government official yelling, clapping? Like I can see my winning across the river. So the opposition people invited Raptor PD to come say anything to America, right? To the point where the American ambassador of Sachet Affairs walked out. And even when she was walking out, they were clapping.
The United States has taken more from us than it has given. Lest we forget.
These are radicalized perspectives. These are anti-America viewpoints. Liberia don't need them. You jeopardize the life, the safety, the protection, and the families of thousands and thousands of Liberian citizens.
The United States will always serve its own interests above all else.
So now America says, in spite of everything we were doing, You're not recognized, so we want to prioritize our own interests. Since that's what Raptor says. So now you will begin to see the difference between how Liberia or how America was engaged with Liberia to when America decided to prioritize our own interests and leave Liberia out. For those of you that are saying, "Oh, America,"
We accept these truths. We will appreciate that a reimagined Liberia is nobody's stepchild.
right? If we imagine Liberia, Baga say, go tell the world that this Liberia under my watch, we're going to reimagine it in how we deal with people, who we talk to, who we respect, and let them know that we're no longer stepchild for anybody. We take our own decisions. We don't care about how they feel. These things were re-echoed by the likes of Dillon, and the list goes on.
Imagine Liberia is not only free from colonial relations of power, it is also free from colonial artifacts that cripple us. In this vein, I would like to renew previous calls to adopt national symbols that represent the cultural breadth and historical depth of our shared experiences.
Okay. So in fact, to demonstrate that practically, they remove everything that resembles and identical to America or has any trace to America in our national symbols and appearance. You can have this conversation, but the nature, the manner in which you have these conversations, so that we remove all. It's a radical position. You're damning America. You're saying to damn with them, we've benefited nothing from this relationship. So let's move. And Baka clapped. He clapped.
I urge us to forge a new political identity by reimagining and
A new what? A new what? Fellow Liberians, a new political identity. What was our previous political identity? An America like American democracy, American consideration, American correctness. That was our political identity. Our governance is modeled after America. Our structure is modeled after America.
revising these
Right? But the government invited orator sent a message to the world that the government under Bouaké was considering a reimagined Liberia that shifts our political identity. So how dare you start to blame Liberians in the U.S. say because they were depending on America? America is a welfare state. Those of you that are saying it, do you know what a welfare state is? I will define that for you. You think it is like when you just jump and go and start being lazy, and you call your fellow citizens lazy, eh? To defend the failures of a regime who have ignored.
Why is the national special relationship? A reimagined Liberia rejects anti-intellectualism, develops critical thinking skills, and invests in lifelong learning from cradle to grave. When I worked in government over a decade ago, I can't believe it's been that long, we developed a capacity building strategy that aligns with our development needs.
And that strategy she's talking about that was developed, check it out, it was funded by the USAID. But it seemed one mountain podium and say, we got to reimagine Liberia beyond America. How? Your growth, your development, your contribution to your country, sponsored by American tax dollars. How are you telling us to leave America? How are we supposed to do that? How are we supposed to do that? Let me bring the other mic and put everything on because I got to go out very loud today. We're talking, the boat people now put the country in. I know, they say zile tule. Oh.
So, in addition to educating geologists and engineers and epidemiologists in our universities, we also focused on training electricians and carpenters.
And look at our universities across Liberia, the ones we have. Look at our technical colleges, our schools, our TVETs. Take American monies from there. And on what ground can you stand to speak as a Liberian then if you don't find American tax dollars? Let it all across it. You have to know yourself. And knowledge of oneself is the beginning of wisdom. You gotta know who you are. And you can't deny who you are. It's not possible. But at least you must be grateful. Do not show open ingratitude because you found, it's like you have your little wife, she's been managing with you from the interior, you're breaking rules, going on the farm and cooking your little cassava and preparing you things. You come to Monrovia and then somebody come and just start flashing and then you don't kulu. You start speaking down on your wife, the poor wife that was there with you.
Our technical and vocational education institutes. This is a model worth.
These are the places. These are the things that triggered the decision yesterday. It did not come from the blue. No opposition responsible. No lazy Liberian like the government people trying to make it and say, oh, Liberian people in America, the lazy that they didn't want to make it. They're not true. Say, I know the 40% people, they're not true. That thing has been like that for a rack of ages because America is a welfare society. The country is built like that to cater for the have-not. That's the structure. And irrespective of what your nationality, that's the system. That's how America has been. It's a welfare state. Right?
Because our Declaration of Independence on July 26, 1847 was a revolutionary act of defiance.
Okay. Say our independence. Reminds our independence. Who paved the way for your independence? How did you gain your independence? And you talk about diplomacy. Do you know how it works? Say, oh, America, the last to recognize our independence. The people who recognize the independence first, who are they to America? Who are they to America? What's a bilateral relationship between those countries? Yeah, John. You know how things. So America, the last, and I can hear people saying that America, the last to recognize independence. You ain't smart, eh?
Oh, how sweet this country could be if we only rebuilt it for all of us to enjoy. We must believe that there is sufficient space.
So when Boakai and the regime brought Dr. Pelly, they did not know that they were advocating for a Liberia where over 100,000 of Liberian citizens will be denied the opportunity to better life, safety, healthcare, and all of that. Families will be disconnected, children. If all of these people will start coming out now to show themselves, right? If all of these people should now start coming out to show themselves, to start showing themselves the victims of what has happened, okay, quickly. Yeah, bear with me. I'm on one today, so I gotta juggle between a lot of things just to make sure I get all that I need for you. And make sure I get all that I need for you and all of that. So yeah, right? And listen to this other one.
So that I can because I have the
okay, hey man, am I gonna get this one here quickly, folks? Running between. Well, but that is that. Let's spend some time on Raptor Pellies. For Liberians, that the message the president was sending, they didn't want to America say they have a relationship with you, not enjoying it. We like it. We won't be with you again. We won't imagine Liberia for ourselves. We won't do our own thing. We won't determine who we can be friends with. Blah blah blah. They put to record on all that. They jotted all down. And today, the consequences of these radical, she said radical defiance It is the framework that the government adopted that have gotten us to where we are. Let's take call 0776 104 104 086 500 104 plus 231 886 500 104. Which we can have some of our American brothers to. I know these are very heavy times, but we hope and pray. We hope and pray that the government can think about it and know that our best interest as a country lies with America. I mean, you can't argue that one. No, it's not possible. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, brother Abu. This is Peace calling from New Hope Peace Island.
Go ahead.
Yeah, brother Abu, there's a parable that says, "Of bread whose fellows have been used for sacrifices must flow with question." You understand?
Mm-hmm.
To ourselves, America have been doing a lot of things for us. But you know, we got to forget. You understand? That's our problem. We got to forget that we can shape blame on people very fast. At the end of the day, we can start crying for challenges. Oh, we face it on the other side. We face it challenges on the other side. And who can come to our rescue? That America. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
America, the founding father of this country. That America, half of our president have been American citizens. Joseph Jingy Rabo, all the way. You understand? So, we don't forget that the problem we're facing.
But the new government said to hell with all that, we should be radical now, we should reimagine.
It's not possible. We can't do anything.
So who do you blame for this visa ban that we have gotten? Who do you blame for it?
I blame ourselves and our particular lady. Our particular on our 100.
Who brought the lady to talk?
The DMB, the Joseph Butler, the UP government, they fought for us. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But we're not going to be part of Yemen, Iraq, visa restriction. We're not going to be part of that. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
These are countries that is blacklisted. Now, you know, we're not going to be part of that kind of thing there. Well, our name has been formed. You know, I used to be pretty recently now. Anytime I see that list on Facebook, you know, or other information something there, I can be we're not part of it. But this morning, I'm surprised to hear that we're in our latest.
Oh, yeah, it's there. It's way in the future. Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
I'm Benu Kamara calling from Kwara.
Go ahead, Benu.
It's so sad to hear that news. But you know, if the government of Liberia to buy, we must say it. But it's not all the things you're talking, it's not the president first, it's not the government first.
Okay, so Donald Trump know you before you are wicked on you. Countries interact through foreign policies and dealings and the way you interact. Hello. Benu.
It's not like the plan. Where they want Donald Trump to power, it's time to deport people. So you can't put a blame on the government.
No, that the government, the way the government engage America, you send people to force America, then you say what? You say the men are left black, then you go start forcing the men. You don't know what, go ahead. Let's see you, Chief. Morning.
Good morning, Abush.
Morning.
My name's Richard Lamu Asamowoki, West Point, and let me say Happy New Year.
Thank
to you and every other Liberian under my voice. You know, Abu Sharif is a code in political science called international relations. And if you study international relations, we have two different states in the world. We have substantial and non-substantial states. And Liberia is among the non-substantial states. In the other word, the state that cannot feed itself independently. So, if we see this thing happening under this administration as to restricting visa, mainly immigrant visa, because the visa people travel up mostly, or up to 99% in Liberia is immigrant visa.
Correct. That's what Liberians go for.
Yes, immigrant visa, you are under that category. Beside that category, no other, important visa that Liberian go for because of our own relationship. Look at the historical tie is only government in or to come have to continually building that tie with America. Because America is the first superpower in the world. So you as a non-substantial state, you only one have to make your friendship, substantial or important to the person that you want to get something from. Abu, if you are a minister or you are the president, and I as a common man, and you think who want friendship? I want friendship.
That's
So
correct.
my friendship is building a consistent tie with you.
But when you go, you start crossing me in the community. You start sending people to cross me. You think that friendship will hold?
And let me say this. Let me say this curiously. Because somebody saying the statement that Louis Brown made is not Liberia's statement. They said 3 different countries, and Liberia is the country used to make that statement. You don't know that the 2 other countries used Liberia as a scapegoat? Because the person who released that statement is a Liberian. Though it might be some of the issues.
No, but that person spoke out of ignorance. But that position came from Monrovia. The position that Louis Brown communicated came from Monrovia. We have record. We've spoken with people. Monrovia approved the position, and that's how Louis Brown took the lead. In fact, to demonstrate more that he was in full agreement. To read the statement.
Abu, let me say this. I know that it's Liberia through executive action that sanctioned that statement.
Correct.
Which that Louis Brown, released. So Louis Brown, personally, I'm not holding on to him because it's the government through the executive mansion, which is the executive branch of government. I'm not asking, to represent the union with the 3 countries speaking.
Okay.
From African Union representation or the AU. So what we are talking, we as Liberia, we just need to pray. Because our prayer is important in order to revive our nation.
Thank you.
And continually, let we say to our police, and this is a new year, let we get into a more democracy. The issue of people having to petition government as to their issue, bothering them. This thing shouldn't be controlled by this government because it is chapter 3 of the 86th Constitution, your fundamental right from Article 11 to 26. So why this government want to
Okay, Richard Asamoah right there. So, but that is that, folks. Let me go to the US and play you a very sad video of a Liberian family that fell prey to ICE. ICE, the Immigration and Custom and Control people in America, or enforcement, Immigration and Custom Enforcement, that's enjoying presidential backing. They're chasing after people, they're bursting into home. People designated under these categories and other categories, they're going for you ruthlessly. At what point our passport supposed to be a proud that saves us or provides some level of safeguard? No matter how you flash a Liberian passport that looks very identical or, with the US, no, you stand the same fate. Behind closed door, what have they done? What have they said? How are they moving? You will be scapegoating, the people will be doing these things, and terrible things will be coming. And you'll see this thing, you see the girl calling, they're not the president, they're not, you got to stop these things. They're not that you responsible to talk for the country here? You were on a plane, you went to Washington. Right? All the trip they've been doing in the Middle East, you've been there. You know what they've been saying. You know how they've been talking about moving the country. So we will know the thing. And in fact, we can't even talk all. We can talk small. Then you won't be arguing because you think you get on a party, you got to defend. When ICE is going around, just starting. This is the Associated Press. I'm playing this video. Credit to Associated Press. For those of you watching,
What warrant? Wait. Somebody in here with my babies. You're good. Stay in your room and shut the door.
like no fun. What you doing?
Please. I'm not even touching nobody. Get your hands off of me.
Reaching repercussions. No party anywhere anymore. Not many hundred of their family are vulnerable.
Bring him back. Bring him back.
No, how many the government to go back and do people in America and the worker of two cities. So we are families to be protected.
Wait.
We need our families to be protected. We don't want to be treated. We and these people not on the same path. You got to know who you are. And this is fight. There's no way you can do. Got to pursue it in a way that we're even seeing next to America. That other people will be running to come and take cover under Liberia. That's how it has to be. That's what we are talking about. Liberians. So we are not just saying because we want to say, we are saying out of deep empathy for the level of trauma and disturbance this is going to cause to Liberian family across the U.S. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Abu.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for this topic on discussion. You know, Abu, I want to start this. First of all, my name is Francis T. calling from Battery Factory. And so, Abu, I want to start on the day. If people say they got the courage and great mind to talk to great nation like America, you know when it's over start from? They are the government of this country. You know, for you to stand up for people, stand up for your own people in this country. The 26 businesses in this country that all for the brown people. First of all, stand up right there. You don't want to hear now. Stand up and give a lecture. There are 26 businesses the brown people. Only the brown people want to do it. And to stand up for your people, number one, create job. Make a decision in your country, then you can able to stand up to our nation.
Then before you can invite people now to come and start talking about reimagine, you can reimagine like from your head when the groundwork has not been done. Look at how this has rendered us even more vulnerable. And so in the lead up to the United Nations Non-Permanent Security Council seat, where Labrador was lobbying, senior delegation of the government, and of course the president traveled to the U.S. Meetings were held. And concessions were made. Agreements were entered that when Liberia gets there, Liberia will protect America's interests. Let the Ministry of Foreign Affairs people come, they say, oh, the law, no sort of nothing like that, and all of that. Then the president went there. You see those countries, those select countries that were invited to the U.S. for that meeting, demands that were being made, those were the opportunity to save your future. Then the president came and said, oh, because the American people the Trump administration already set up everything. We say, no, we got Allah, we got people then. So y'all bring the head of states. Y'all kind of sit down. This is how we want to proceed. This is what we want to do. Do we have your backing? Do we have your support? Are you willing to always defend? Are you willing to always stand with us? In fact, we have undocumented immigrants. Can you also allow us the opportunity to send these people back to your country and all of that? Those were the conversation. And our leader, our president agreed. And you understand? They agreed. On the flip side of things, on your first appearance at the UN special meeting as a Security Council member, after that kind of meeting, they bring a she and say, I know really they put your hand or say, yeah, Labo will read it. Wrapped up in and tell us we'll be brave, we'll be radical, we'll stay in front of people. So yeah, we'll read it. The president already called me and said, yeah, this is our position. We must preserve the sovereignty and the independence of Maduro and all of that. We must go stand there and say what America did is gangster action. Bendu d'accord and say, oh, Dana Bwaka, she maybe that she the one we're doing now. That she the one her family call Louis Brown say, oh, take the position for Liberia. So when you hear somebody friendly, you do bad thing to the person. You disgrace the person, you made them shame. Then, when the person come, that blast what you're borrowing from the person take the blast from you, you bring with the person carry it. So you say, oh, they're not the person. Not the person, you are causing the person. You don't blame yourself, you go blame somebody else. So let me play another one again. The Louis Brown on this time.
For promptly convening this important meeting. We congratulate Somalia on assuming the presidency of the Security Council this month and warmly welcome all new members. The A3 appreciates USG DiCarlo's comprehensive briefing and listened carefully to the remarks offered by civil society representatives. We also welcome the representative of Venezuela and the representatives of the region to this meeting. Mr. President, the A3 aligns itself with the recent communique of the African Union on the situation in the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela and continues to monitor developments there with deep concerns. In particular, we note reports regarding the detention of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife and incidents involving Venezuelan institutions. Such developments present serious challenges not only to Venezuela's...
Okay, let's hold it there. So who arrested and detained Venezuelan president and wife? Not American. So who was Louis Brown referring to? And America said they took the action to protect American interests. Louis Brown is saying, no, don't protect American interests, leave it vulnerable. America said these individuals are a threat to our sovereignty and our interests, so we got to neutralize them. Liberia True, Louis Brown said, no, that action is hooligan, it's gangster, and it poses challenge to our international space. Louis Brown and the government of Liberia at the UN says that America and her action, in spite of Americans saying that these people and their institutions are a threat to Americans' interests. So if you're not prepared to stand with American interests and protect Americans, they say these people are bringing drugs to our country, they're damaging our young people, they're damaging our system and blah, blah, blah. We're not good. The boys are together intelligent, that's what it is.
For promptly convening this important meeting. We congratulate Somalia on assuming the presidency of the Security Council this month and warmly welcome all new members. We believe these are essential foundations for international cooperation and peaceful coexistence. Our position underscores the importance of dialogue, the peaceful settlement of disputes, and respect for constitutional and institutional frameworks.
Okay, what does that say? So Liberia is indicating to America, so your action is a disrespect for constitutional and institutional framework. That's Louis Brown Ward reading it in front of the United Nations, the biggest platform. Sat there. Listen to what America did to Somalia as president of the council. The actions that has been taken.
Naturalized immigrants.
1 day ago, for the fact that that really happened under the presidency of Somalia, President Trump announced that, and I read, we are also going to revoke the citizenship of any naturalized immigrant from Somalia or anywhere else who is convicted of defrauding our citizens. Fellow Liberians, is that a place for our government to go? Now, what we're saying now, you make sense of it. Open the phone line, you tell us. The fact that Somalia was the president, I mean, you approve that message. And when you say the truth, Liberian people will misinterpret it. And this thing, I want to encourage the government to go and do real weightlifting behind the scene and negotiate. Because it's not over yet. It's not. Doesn't look over yet. Right? The American president said, as of the issuance of this, that they are going to revoke the citizenship of any naturalized immigrant from Somalia in America. They will revoke all their naturalization. And yesterday he posted something, he said, send them back to where they're coming from. If you come to America to rob Americans, we are throwing you in jail, and we are sending you back to the place from where you came. That kind of crisis going on. You need sober diplomatic engagements. Not hostile. To what benefit when we become hostile? Fellow Liberians. 0776 104 104 086 500 104 are the numbers. Let's make reason together. Who do we hold responsible? Let's talk about it. I mean, we're just playing some of the things and trying to make sense of it so the action happen. Say you are the president, in fact, not only banning you from getting visa to come to the country, but your people that are in the country that are already naturalized to be American, we're revoking all their naturalizations. Now, what happened to Somalia? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Augustus.
Go ahead.
Okay, I call particularly to reference this Louis Brown, especially in Liberia. He had the guts to condemn America for going into Venezuela. But then why you could not condemn the incident that took place in Kinjo? In Liberia, your internal issues. You already have corruption and other activity ongoing in your country. Then you're going now on the international stage, as big as the United Nations stage is, to go in and condemn America, who is the world superpower. Even China said then you want to disgrace America. People use the only thing they have because they can't come and invade Liberia because Liberia is a small country. So they use the things that will start most of them from coming to enter in Liberia. So when they continue to do their foot in there, they might withdraw all Liberian citizens from America, they're going to remain in America.
We might not reach to that one side because
we're begging them.
No.
So let the people go and speak a beautiful English there to reconsider the decision.
No, let's say our best little tail phone and call again. And last time they say they have telephone conversation. That the best time now to have telephone
need is a name that gave us total freedom. You know, this morning the topic some of us on the radio or listening to the radio may overlook it, but it's very serious. My brother, this government will continue to bring and expose the calamities that people prophesy on this nation. You see, things that we have never experienced as a country. Under this Waka-led government, we are experiencing it. Waka brought a bunch of hooligans who feel that they can be radical in the wrong way to support the Liberian people. They don't for us. I always tell people, behind the scene, they take bribe and they think they can stand with countries that don't mean well for us. My brother, this government always talk about interest. In politics, we talk about interest. How can we compare other countries with the United States in this present time when we're fighting a global war, global crisis, financial crisis, and we think we can stand with less important people against the United States? So for me, this government must stand strong. More is coming. And those are listening, those electorates that brought this government upon us when it does wrong, they still stand to back it. Now please try to rethink. So thank you for the time.
Thank you very much. Well said. And of course, let's take more calls and all that.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
I'm not flabbergasted. Good morning.
Morning.
I'm not flabbergasted. We got Ocho corrupt people in the system. So what can happen?
What is
We
your
got
name?
organized people in the system. So what can happen? Look, my brother,
What is your name?
this is the voice of Sabu Rasta. I'm telling you the show for instance. But look, my brother, let me tell you Abu. A government is a system or a group of organized people. We got bunch of corrupt people who not take information because of repulsive ministry. When you get in the government, that's what how can happen. We got police directors who's supposed to be doing it. We're going to do professional policing. Or we'll be picking on people, killing their own people. That's what can happen. When you got speaker, who's supposed to be, can you imagine the first branch of government? Then you got speaker who can control his trouser, who will be marrying his sister. My brother, what can happen here? Continue the show.
776-104-104-06500-104. The reason I'm struggling hard not to even draw in the speaker owner stuff in, because I know there are a lot of diplomatic actions that have been taken, right, that could end up this fate way more than that. But it is also an embarrassment to realize that the greatest of fraud in America is being conducted by a man sitting as Speaker of the country.
Hello?
You're supposed to hear a lot. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, hello?
Hello. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Mohammed Tugwe and I call from Barrington.
Go ahead.
Yeah, brother, you know, these things that we've been discussing, Liberians sat there and then if you know all those things. Before when President we are used to go to the US, we used to say, oh, yeah, he's going to go in jail, yeah, he's going to do all kind of stuff. Today, we've been in the truth to humble. This is where they are carrying on now, they're taking explanation. So, just tell me, what kind of a situation now? It's not embarrassing to we the ordinary citizens.
Rising. They say like any dream you have about going to America, just kill it right there, bury it right in you, and finish.
What we got to do is Venezuela there.
So let lose one go to Venezuela to come take off.
Yeah, that will be standing there talking against U.S. decision against Venezuela. I mean, brother.
My brother, now all Benin inside that thing say we have any business to do with it. But let me read you the statement from the government of Liberia in the wake of the suspension. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs informs the public that the government of the United States has announced an indefinite pause. It's not temporary. I see people say temporary. See, the government is confirming it. So I'm not making up the story, right? So an indefinite, that means we know when we finish. It's just open, right? Indefinite pause in the processing of certain immigrant visas for nationals of 75 countries, including Liberia. They're not setting that immigrant visa. or immigrant visa. I read you the category of all those affected. So they're trying to play politics to pacify that, and you know exactly. This measure is scheduled to take effect on January 21, 2026, and is part of a review of U.S. visa screening and vetting procedure under the public charge rule. What the statement we read, communicating the visa suspension, did not say it was any kind of review, and reviews will be temporary, but indefinite suspension, and then you still come here to say review. You still won't find a way to be lying and giving your people false hope. Sarah Beslow Yanti, that's what you're trying to do. Play with words. The ministry wishes to clearly emphasize that this pause applies only to immigrant visas and does not affect non-immigrant visa. Nobody said it affected non-immigrant visa, and there is no need to even draw non-immigrant visa in the conversation because they have not been part of it, right? Most substantially, this suspension affects immigrant visa, Madam Foreign Minister. That is the conversation. Non-immigrant visa, that's the one. It is like you are living in your own house, right? With your mom and your pa, everything is nice, everything is going on. Then something happened in the house. You used to be in the B or the movie and they put you in the boys' quarter. Right? Then you say, oh, no, nothing happened. At the boys' quarter, the boys' quarter ain't get AC. Ain't get cable TV. No inside bathroom. Huh? You've lost privileges. Now even in the bus car, but they throw you outside and gave money to go rent zero hall in the neighborhood. So that is that. So listen to the non-immigrant visa now. Tourist, business, student, exchange, and other. I have a personal experience with the student visa thing that I think I can say at this point. At the latter part of last year, I made an attempt to pursue master studies in the U.S., and then I was able to look around, identify a school in Delaware. Started doing some email exchanges and all of that. Only to realize and got informed that school that I was talking to was clear that they have suspended, that was somewhere around October 2025, that they have suspended international student application processing. And they just left it like that. I started thinking, right? So those are closing on a lot of things. Somebody go for the B one, and you go sit down and say the small one. The boy say, but the screening. Now who's out there your family money? You say, oh, you don't go see America, come on. I'm not gonna pay to go do see and come and see. So you start pacifying the thing. The real hurt, the real pain lies in the cancellation and suspension of the immigrant visa that what Liberian benefited from. That by visiting America will come back and change your life? No. That by going there to stay there, that you can change your life. And Liberians are interested in the one that changes our life. The government of Liberia recognizes the potential impact on citizens seeking permanent residence and is engaging U.S. authorities through diplomatic channels to seek clarification on the scope and duration of the pause and to advocate for fair consideration of Liberians. Now, I think I support that the government pursue diplomatic engagement, seeking consideration of Liberian applicant. But the duration thing you're talking about and clarification of duration and scope, that one is clear. Ain't the people, It's clear. The duration is indefinite. Okay, so you want to say, okay, if the duration that 10 years, then you'll come and say, oh, let's bear that 10 years. The boss is not even 10 years, I'm fine, but it's indefinite. And this conversation I'm having is a very important conversation. You may take it to be something, and that's why I'm taking my time to talk about this. Because the way we know Americans, and anybody will be like that, any country, look, you can't be ungrateful. Our greatest protection comes from America, whether we like it, whether we not like it. For us to even be sitting behind the microphone and talking is because America supports to rebuild our institutions in this country that hold America. Go in the barracks, even uniforms that they're wearing, go in the police. And you see China be passing around giving you fake motorbike thing. Oh, yeah, that China again. And so what? America will not come every day. America, through soft power, helps you become and realize your fullest potential. That's what you should know. But some of you do not have the understanding of these things, and you allow these politicians, they will come here, they'll be lying to you, and they take all their children and family to carry them in America. They're embarrassed. Don't see what they're doing. They're embarrassed. Because I'm going to talk to some of our friends. I'm going to try to make some inquiry to know what happens, especially for many PNN that can be here causing. Now they worry whether they will go back. Because of what they can depend on. When they come here, they steal in the country plenty. And then as soon election happen, they lose, they fly, they go. Fagon on recording. And I check, I don't know what happened. But I play here, if you can remember very well. I think I held show on it for almost a week of that Fagon recording. You hear Fagon brazenly insulting American democracy and favoring China. And somebody say colonial mentality. That colonial mentality? All right. That colonial mentality, me, I agree, I get colonial mentality. Because me, I'm realistic. You see the fact? They're not colonial mentality. This is cooperation, mutually beneficial cooperation. America has not imposed herself. America has not come here and start doing things. When we saw that way, Robert, when we saw Michael McCarthy going beyond, we spoke. And the American system understood from where we were speaking. But you come here, you say that colonial mentality there to respecting your boundaries. So as of tonight, the ministry can confirm that even interviews for immigrant visas will continue unhindered. Only the issuance of immigrant visas is paused, pending new guidelines to be issued. That one that the ministry PR aspect and new guidelines issued. The ministry encourages the policy, the ministry are firm on it. When I read the previous thing to you in 2019, in fact, this thing here is in 2019, the American government decided to review this whole situation about applications and travel to America that will become a charge on or a burden on the American system. And then the President Trump then took action to expand the definition of that to include other things. It got challenged in the court, right? Some were removed, but it remained there. So the president has come to enforce that. You can come to the country, but not to be burden on the American people. Because you know what? In your respective countries, your governments are taking radical positions against American interests. This is the fact. That's what the Ministry of Foreign Affairs people, right now, they're angry. They're sitting there, I'm talking, they're vexed. I know they won't eat me up, but they can. Right? And if you come after my life because I'm saying the truth, I was not the one who told Eugene Fagon to take a phone pulley from him and start cursing America. I was not there when the government invited Raptor Pele to go there. They said, look at the big signal That day when the lady left, government minister, the one social media start defending that we're independent. Nobody not say we're not independent. America has never challenged our independence or say we're not independent or try to micromanage or in any ways. But the relationship have got meets and bounds, have got guidelines that we have to stay within the framework. And you can't go outside of the framework, then you expect, then you say, oh, that's a demonstration of strength. No, that's a demonstration of recklessness. So you must take responsibility of your recklessness. And that's what I am saying. And if that makes me a target for the government, okay, so be it. But we're going to speak the truth. We're going to keep saying the truth. Right? So this is where we are, folks. Let me take more calls. I see you trying to call, and it's important to gauge public opinion and public feedback. I know we, the Liberian people, we're not happy, we're not lucky. And that's why I'm having this conversation so that we'll increase our voices, we'll mount more pressure. Y'all got to call on this radio. Y'all got to call right now, plenty, and say your views, how you're feeling about it. This is not a position of ordinary Liberians. We don't want it. We respect America. We want to be in relationship because America have always protected us. Anybody, the people who telling you it's colonial, what they're doing? They're going Burkina Faso to go big small ball, Ibrahim Traore to connect them with Russia. They go in Guinea to go connect with Russia. Just imagine you calling America a colonial son. They talking about international law. Do you know what is international law? Do you know how international laws are formulated? Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning,
sir. Thank you for me. I'm Ernest Pulu, joining from Nema, District 7.
Go ahead, my brother.
Thank you for the platform, Apple. So the question to the Unity Party people who that they can kill you, God, is going. The government workers are asking people, are you people wrong to say that, or are they false information? And then when they're raping 15-year-old children or child, you people stand for the civil society.
And we say it. Right? They put visa ban on Liberia. I can't here to explain the reason. As I'm talking nothing else, but I will just help Liberians to understand how we got here. I play all the OO recording. Then you say our enemy or the state are promoting what thing? The man say colonial mentality. That America build our infrastructure. Am I lying? No, I'm not. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning, Abu. How are you this morning, my friend and brother?
I'm doing good. Let's hear you. I'm just disheartened by the fact that this is a blow to us.
Abu, you know, those guys who are complaining and saying trash, they don't understand what they call international relations. They don't know that this government has put Liberia in a serious mess. They don't know it. They do not know it. They don't know all ignorance. No, those guys.
They say China has proven to be a better partner. China can build Chinese bridges for them.
Abu, even the China goes to America to beg. Don't mind them. They don't understand these things. They don't understand it. You know how many Chinese now are fighting to get there in America to make farms? They know what they are talking? They know what they are talking? No, Abu, so one of my friends was doing this application yesterday to go to the Americans. They were the whole system just free yesterday. Yesterday, a friend of mine, I was doing his application right in my office. The whole system finished. We got checked behind it. It was a suspension of getting visa from Liberia to go to America. The government is disappointed. We want to read through. We are added to Iraq, Afghanistan, Russia list.
And that one said that really hurting me. We and Iraq didn't go get on the scene list.
Yeah, Iraq there. Yeah, that's supposed to be. That's supposed to be. They look at talking nonsense. They don't understand. They are ignorant. They don't understand. They are very dumb. They don't know nothing.
The whole country is suffering.
Yeah, the whole country is suffering.
Imagine few official go essential, it became a whole news. But the whole country is suffering.
The whole country is suffering now. As I was yesterday, the whole system finished when they can't clear this application.
You know what some of our work, what some of our planning to do? We damage our whole life, our whole future. Thank you, my brother. That party been here. Good morning. You bring a government take fuck up decision. You say we can talk about it. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Good morning, Abu, and let me say good morning to your listeners. My name is Eugene S. Jovoginium, and I call you from the bypass. Abu, I'm disappointed this morning.
We need to reimagine Liberia. What are you depending on? We need to radical. We need to do this. Like, all the small children, they can see their man. The women, they can see their husband. Everybody, we just chocolate. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, you know, Abu. Now, you know, they were celebrating Louis Branda, eloquent, and all those things. I told them, I say, these things have consequences.
Oh, government job to pay you can get it. I don't want to go damage everybody featuring and say eloquent.
And here we are now. And what? I'm not praying for that, but it will also affect us on the compound, the MCC compound. It will also affect.
No, let's talk about the one that not happy for a little then to make adjustment. Let's talk about the one that not happy. Me, I won't be predicting anything from me. They can go start spoiling your knee. So the one that happened, yeah, terrible. And I'll be warning you. Some of the actions you're taking, I'll be warning you. You stop the one. You stop the one. Yeah, listen, fine. You ain't listening. You go ahead. The consequence will come. Thank you, my brother.
Yes, yeah.
Poker Robert.
Allah. It's sophisticated Allah. Oh man, what's up?
Go ahead, comrade.
Yeah, thank you very much. And let me say thanks to all of our love and brilliant, hardworking family of the great Philadelphia family for the hardworking for our Labrador. For the Record Nations, for the public, I'm Pokat Robert. And I join you this morning from our unknown destinations. Thank God to my party for my speedy recovery. I was not feeling well today, but thank God.
Yeah, my man, speaking going, man. You well now. You're more sharp. Go ahead, make a point quick.
Let me say this. People saying that why we are happy for bad news. No, Abu, we are not happy for bad news. We are happy when somebody claims bad news upon their self. Hello? Abu, we are not happy for bad news. No, we'll never be happy for bad news again.
But who is happy? Now who they are protesting here say they more ban, they more put sanction on the country?
Somebody claim bad news upon their own self.
Who are protesting say they more ban the country, more put sanction on the country?
Now, Abu, you can get to step or two. You can get to step, Abu, to step your brain. Abu, sure, today. I want to say this to Mr. Walker. All of those there, our people will be in tears, naked tears, paper rattle. You collect their millions of dollars, and you put it in stagnation. That days are over. Mr. Walker, you will reap what you sow. Get it starting. So, we want to appreciate it to the fullest of seeing the people cry. We want to appreciate it to the fullest. The paper rattle that they extorted their money. They stole from them. The people that they stole their money, our marketeers are today they are crying. They're killing for school.
Go ahead. Oh, Poker the network. So now, there's a difference. So have you asked yourself what is responsible for the change? When George Weah and the CDC were there, in spite of everything you are saying, the American government came here, they be headable, beautiful, state-of-the-art, multi-purpose NSA headquarters for us. And that's supposed to be a bad government. But they came, they were bringing more support. They built NSA headquarters for us. Waka, they're issuing statements suspending visa issuance to Liberia. What? You gotta fix it, man. You gotta fix the max. You gotta fix this and correct it. We will tell y'all. Y'all like it, you ain't like it. We'll tell y'all. Go ahead. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
You mess the country. You're destroying the country. Go ahead.
My name is Ishmael Kamara, and I'm calling this morning from Painesville. And so let me appreciate you for the program this morning. But you know, one thing I'll say is that those so-called professional people have actually brought shame and disgrace to professional life. I don't understand. Those guys claim to be professional people. But then look at the manner in which I actually approach the bilateral relationship between America and all of Liberia over the last 2 years. Look at
Your life, go ahead.
Yeah. Look at the long statement at the time. So my mom passed from Chinese government to Liberian government. Look at the statement coming from Odeka. Few years back, he used the whole word desecrated. Okay, so I think they have desecrated. They have desecrated the tenor. They have desecrated the professional standard when it comes to dealing with bilateral partners. So when we start between America and Liberia at this point, nobody can change it. The thing is that they have caused this problem. America and Liberia supposed to be having a better relationship, but the government today is responsible squarely for Liberia being placed among those 75 countries that have been faced with visa suspension. It is because of the actions. The actions of our government.
They won't take responsibility of, then they won't be shifting blame and blaming poor Liberian families in America. Good morning. The boy ready for school there.
Yeah. Good morning, Abu.
Good morning.
They're making big more here. They stay lying to people. For what thing? Louis Branson and what thing you eat government when people do nothing, you bound to put your mother there. Eh? You know how America been helping us? Since nothing we. Then because today you in a government, you say you want a big. What kind of business is this? What we in so?
Oh. Anything happen,
you know the thing,
Louis Brown.
Don't people want quick to change their mind.
And Joseph Baca, they don't want responsible.
Don't people want quick to change their mind. That's something there. That's something. What kind of business we in so? People just got some kind of way in the country here. Then when we talking, then they stay lying, they teaching things for the common people. We can't understand to get honor A, to fall honor A. For what? That when we go out there, we tell the people how it's looking. We will tell them if they don't understand, they don't want to understand. They will understand.
All our old man in the community, to the house, they praying, oh my child, let God make you go America and everything. All those prayers finished. All those dreams are over. And it has happened at no point in time, but only when Baca became president, his officials started issuing damning comments on America and Liberia's relations. Good morning.
This is Pastor Emmanuel T. Cooper, Government District 11, precisely Pattersville. I really want to commend you. I don't think the guy would be in a position to try to put you journalists who are opening the eyes of Liberian people in this morning time. It will be very unrealistic because they are shot themselves in the neck. Let me tell you something, the sheriff. Mr. Louis Brown is noted for that. He's a former combatant of Charles Taylor. Charles Taylor saying to FPRC he was alleged that he stole $250,000. So he's seeking Charles Taylor revenge against the American people. 2017, if you monitor that, he voted against America again when Donald Trump wanted to replace America, Israel capital city back to Jerusalem, from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. It was Louis Brown. Hello?
Yeah, you're live. You're actually trying to blackmail the CDC government out there. I had the president record.
Yeah, the one that record him. So you're going back there. So I don't know what kind of diplomatic training did you do that you have to go against your traditional ally. It's insensitivity and inhumane because you do not think about the vast majority of the Liberian people that reside in the United States. And the next thing is that when you go against Israel and America, then you are actually going against your own nation. Because it happened to Liberia before. The late President William Aaron Tubman took a wrong decision in 1979 to use United Nations as threat.
Exactly.
And this is a threat. And even before, this government don't have a time with Israel. Yeah, that was thank you. So they are not really that history. And you can now look at countries like America, the most powerful country in the world economically and militarily, and you as a country that George Bush referred to as insignificant country. They just took our president out of this place some years back. You can remember this thing. Then you send your own orator just some years back in recent time to speak negatively. That whole speech of the orator, Dr. Penny,
That's who I'll play that whole Dr. Phillips speech.
Yeah, play it for the public consumption because some people don't want to get it.
That's why I'll bring we're talking about they don't own the union factor own the play own. So you'll be the judge.
Let them listen, let them people listen to it because they think that you generally want to play the government against the people is wrong.
We're telling them to clean the mess they've made to go clean it. That's what we're telling them. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Abu.
Morning.
I'm patient calling for people.
Go ahead.
Abu, you were here. You paid it to us. That American to nanny for that. Anyone clapping? They were clapping.
Saying you're more arrogant. Start
clapping. They were clapping. The same people where American to look for social for some we are coming today things around. Abu. But people put that in the business. People talking for their own way, the business. See how it's going to happen.
If they are going to stay with so or inside I said I want to oral can manage it, but the play is
why America say see it today? They come back by point get it. But they put that in the big business. You see how I go? There are kinds of big experiment. You see? How the contact thing, yeah? They go to the national. They the best English speaking person and then for us. Why happen this way?
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Listen. You're listening to this one.
Which means that wacko Governor Walz either is an idiot or he did it on purpose. And I think he's both, sir. He brought people in there illegally that never should have been in this country, said they were somebody that they're not. They said they were married to somebody who was their brother or somebody else. You know, you told me to look into Minnesota and their fraud on visas and their programs. 50% of them are fraudulent, which means that wacko Governor Walz either is an idiot or he did it on purpose. And I think he's both, sir. He brought people in there illegally that never should have been in this country, said they were somebody that they're not. They said they were married to somebody who was their brother or somebody else. Fraudulent visa applications.
So who y'all know that's in the news for marrying to their sister and lying and going to America fraudulently? That opposition pull that one there. That pull me do that one. That the American people, the Liberian living in America that own food stamp and other things. No. These are the same actions. This was a report presented by the Secretary Christine Noem, where she claimed that 50% of Minnesota visas are fraudulent. Talking Minnesota. Do you know who? Do you know the concentration of Liberians in Minnesota? And some of the conditions or situations underpinning this is that where people lie to the system and say that they were brothers and they were marrying people, their spouse and things. My people, that who to be responsible, who to be held responsible.
Illegally, that never should have been in this country, said they were somebody that they're not. They said they were married to somebody who was their brother or somebody else. Fraudulent visa applications, signed up for government programs, took hundreds of billions of dollars from the taxpayers, and we're going to remove them and we're going to get our money back. And we're going to, this next year, make sure that we only put people in leadership positions in this country that love this country and have its back. So, you know, you told.
Okay, so that's all right there. And so time is fast spent. Monday is going to be a bomb. Right? Because the sensitivity of this, Daniel set the tone and provide the clarity, the education. Monday will go for the actors. Good morning.
Good morning. I will tell you, David King. I'm for the book quality of my board. Yeah, I won't tell God now that all of the essential.
You know, you
that the people are looking for our government. They didn't set that up no session now. When you talk about somebody who went to America, fraudulent means that region go. Your current speaker you got today, he married his sister according to calamity upon us. Like the man of God said in 2023, that if we vote for Ghana, there will be calamity. The calamity has just started. So Liberian people, we should praise ourselves for the worst.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs is lying. The visa suspension is not temporary. It's indefinite. It's an indefinite suspension. They're not temporary. So Sarah should stop lying to the country.
We will not listen to those lies. They continue to lie, and we will not listen to those lies. If people are indefinitely suspended, immigrant visa to America. So for those of us who want to go to America, you will not complain about land law. You will not complain about the household. You will not go to America because Joseph Boakai and Darren Delone, they have put a muff to the wrong place that they should have put a muff. You only going to put a muff to the wrong place where you should have put a muff.
All right, thank you very much. A little, and let's come back home small. While we leave, we are going now. Countess, recently Nimot Liberia issue is meters, presidential meter, assessing the efficiency of the president's agenda and its implementation. And on this count, it's a county still left behind. Development must reach beyond Monrovia. Nimot's assessment shows that over 60% of core government services remain unavailable outside the capital, highlighting persistent gaps in decentralization and service delivery. We are a country where 60% of government services can reach to 60% of the counties, right? In the country, 60% of the counties can access government services. Then we don't want to go and say we're talking strong to the union. We say that strong voice. You got to know your position. You got to know who you are, or else you'll suffer in poverty. Right, folks? Let's hope the government can make the necessary readjustment. They can have real strong diplomatic engagement behind the scene. I do not see the rationale in taking sides with some of these countries that they are against American interests until the government can prove that yes, indeed, we are in the position to do that. But I don't think we are ever in a position to do that. Not now. My name is Abu Shari. This has been the Thursday morning edition of the Freedom Morning Ras on Freedom 87.9. We come here, we speak truth to power for the general emancipation of our nation, for each of us welfare and well-being. Until we see you tomorrow, do have yourself a wonderful time from the nation's capital, Monrovia. Bye-bye.
Ayo.